1842 AD, 57:36 AM. The British defeat the Chinese, and through the Treaty of Nanking, the opium trade is reinstated, even forcing China to legalise opium and pay restitution for the 2,000 chests they destroyed in 1839. On October the 27th, a Roman Catholic demonstration in the US had a priest amass a pile of Protestant Bibles in public, and before witnesses burned them to ashes. Another Catholic demonstration against Protestant Bibles would be performed in 1902 AD, exactly 60 years later, and all 30,000 participants would be incinerated by a volcanic eruption that very night. 1. Synagogue of Satan. 2. Popery fell of the Church. 1843 AD, 57:37 AM. An extremely brilliant comet is recorded by astronomers. It had a tail 500 million miles long. Sun is 93 million miles away. 1. Prophets of Doom. 1844 AD, 57:38 AM. Samuel Morse, inventor of the Morse code, demonstrated for the US Congress the effectiveness of communicating via metal wires over long distances. As they listened, the very first words that came over the telegraph to astonish the assembly were from the biblical book of Numbers 23:23, quote, "What hath God wrought?" unquote. The text reads, quote, "According to this time it shall be said of Jacob, Israel, what hath God wrought? Behold, the people shall rise up as a great lion," unquote. This is a prophecy of the re-emergence of the Israelite nation in the form of the people of the United States, the collective blood of Europe. Interestingly, the first prophet of Israel was Samuel. A vase was excavated from an ancient Egyptian sarcophagus, and discovered inside of it was a pea. The pea was planted in the herbarium at Highgate, London, and was of great interest, for having been in the tomb for 2944 years, the pea plant grew and produced a full crop of peas. 1. The world as will and representation. 1845 AD, 57:39 AM. A comet appears late in the year and splits into two cometary fragments, the comet named Biela. 1846 AD, 57:40 AM. Early in the year, the two fragments of Biela comet are seen by astronomer John Herschel. A new comet appears and is named Bronson, astronomers insisting that this new comet does not orbit the Sun but some other body. German astronomer Galle discovered Neptune in September. He searched in a region of space where astronomers predicted that another planet should be based on observed anomalies of Uranus. Neptune had 13 moons, and its orbital period is 164.8 Earth years around the Sun. The Smithsonian Institute opens up in Washington, D.C. 78,000 United States troops invade Texas and Mexico. Sir Henry Rawlinson's significant discovery popularized that he discovered an ancient Persian reference to the Israelites on the Behistun rock, a name of the Israelites, Bethsak, house of Isaac, after they were deported by Assyria. This was the 70th year of the United States of America. 1. Introduction to comets. 2. Cataclysm. 3. Foundations of astronomy. 4. Post-captivity names of Israel. 1847 AD, 57:41 AM. The United States defeats Mexico with 78,000 soldiers and cede Texas, New Mexico, Nevada, Arizona, and California, expanding the American landmass from the Atlantic to the Pacific. No other nation on this planet has ever exponentially increased its own territories two- and fourfold, as did the USA through the Louisiana Purchase and Mexican War. This major victory and American expansionism was in the 240th year since the first English colonists founded Jamestown in 1607. Also in 1847, the first iron building is constructed, an architectural engineering feat that would soon develop into skyscrapers. On December 8th, the sky blacked out on a clear day over Arkansas. Strange clouds materializing and a reddish glow appeared over Forest Hill before a huge explosion was heard from the sky. A meteorite then crashed outside of town, creating a hole 8 foot deep. Within minutes, the sky cleared. 1. Far Out Adventures. 1848 AD, 57:42 AM. There is a 3-month-long series of earthquakes throughout the Aegean and Mediterranean, damaging much property and killing wildlife, but only about 50 people died. The report of gold in California initiated the California Gold Rush, as some 80,000 people began to migrate across the face of North America. The Taiping Rebellion in China began, lasting until 1864. Rising hostilities in Europe against the papacy in Rome, due to invasive assumptions of power, prompted the Pope to flee Rome. The sulfur-tipped safety match was invented this year. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels published their Communist Manifesto. This birth of the spirit of communism was a great darkness that would shadow the Israelite-descended nations, and then the rest of the world for a century and beyond. Karl Marx was descended from Jewish rabbinical families on both sides, paternal and maternal, his real name being Moses Mordecai Levy. The anti-Christian communist movement was created and funded by Jews. Throughout Europe and the world occurred over 50 political assassinations and revolutions, as the monarchies of the world fell to democracies and republics. John Keel wrote that 1848 was also the start of the Industrial Revolution. Lieutenant William F. Lynch and military scientists of the United States conducted the most important study of the Dead Sea to date, performed on behalf of the US Navy. The Dead Sea was originally the Salt Sea, and in 1849 BC, the area was altered when the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed by fiery detritus from space. As this is the 72nd year, precessional year, of the United States, with people travelling further and further west, as prophesied in the biblical books, we are not surprised to find this is 2592 years, 864 times 3, after 745 BC, when the 10 tribes of Israel were deported into Assyria, beginning their migrations. The Pope's flight from Rome was 1242 years, 414 times 3, after 606 AD, when he was declared the universal bishop over all other Christian bishops. 1. The antediluvian world. 2. Iron curtain over America. 3. Synagogue of Satan.